loves, it's your girl DeeDee, and welcome back to the channel. So I am back with another quick reaction for you guys. Now, in this clip, this guy is talking about the dynamics of the type of partner that he wants in a relationship and how they would split like bills and things of that nature. And the reason why I'm talking about this because I think it's so important because we are living in a society where most women are saying that they don't want to go 50-50, that they want a relationship where the guy pays all of the bills but not really thinking about the burden and how detrimental that could be in the relationship. Now, we're not talking about men who just got it like that, because I think when we hear this a lot, people assume that most men are rich and they don't have worry about bills and they can just pay whatever. But that is not the case for the majority of us in this country and other countries as well. So I think we got to speak to the majority and what is more realistic, and not just this superficial idea of what you might think you could get when that is not the reality and that is not the majority. So I want you to hear what he has to say, and then I want you guys to chime in the comment. Let me know your thoughts on this one. So make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. So let's go ahead and get into the clip. Here we go.
Rather not have a partner that all the financial burden is on me. It only shrinks my opportunity sometime for other things that I could be doing. Now that she's bringing in an income, my mortgage isn't as high, my bills aren't as high. I can buy that nice car now. We look at our income as a pie, right? I bring in 60% or 70% of the money, and you're bringing 30% of the money. Then let's do it where you pay 30% of the bills and I pay 70% of the bills. I want my partner to have a sense of responsibility. She can actually tell me, yo, turn that heat down. All right, because I pay that bill. There's nothing I can say to her on that. But then I pay the electric bill, and I'll be like, turn that light on. Okay? I think that's so healthy to have that kind of thing in a relationship, because I can't play with you and you can't play with me. It also allows me to have the safety of knowing that this person is really here for me. She got her own money. She can do what she wants.
What do you think about what he had to say? Listen, I always say this, and I have my points on what I think works in a relationship, but I always say this: every relationship is not the same. So you're going to get different outcomes, or you're going to get different traditions, or just different ideals of what you want to make your relationship work. So everybody's relationship is not the same. There's no one size fits all for all relationships, but there are certain standard things that I think does come into play. But when it comes to 50-50 and how you want your financial to look like in a relationship, what you require from your spouse, that's going to be different across the board. But I like how he put it. Hey, look, if you make this amount, then you contribute, that amount. Optimal word for me is contribute. You have to contribute to any relationship, in my opinion, no matter if it's financial or if it's in a different way. And I see a lot of young women out here talking about, oh, I'm not giving 50-50. I'm not paying. I don't want to pay no bills. I don't want to pay anything. And they speak as if the majority of us are walking around rich with big, rich bank pockets. And the majority of people are not in that position. And so you got to understand because a lot of these women who are speaking this way, they're average as well. A lot of them do not make a whole lot of money. And I think this is why they don't want to go 50-50, and they want you to pay it all. And they don't want to contribute financially whatsoever, because they feel like, oh, that's the man's job. And if he's not paying it all, it doesn't mean he's not contributing at all. You got to understand that when you're in a relationship, it takes two. If you're both working and you both make a decent amount of money, if you put it together, now you make more, and you doing it together will allow you to benefit together. That's what a relationship is. But far too often we have women out here complaining, hey, I don't want to be your roommate. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. You're already coming to the table with the wrong attitude. You're already coming to what could potentially be a relationship with the wrong attitude. And this what is kind of running men away in a sense, because they don't want to deal with independent women who are independent, and you're able to take care of yourself. But when it comes to a man, you don't want to contribute anything that will benefit both of you. And so I think that's going to be a major problem for anybody trying to be in a healthy, successful relationship, because most men don't want that type of woman. They want a woman who knows the purpose of a relationship and also understands what it takes for you to build. If a man is paying all that he makes out on the household, the relationship, everything else, he doesn't have room to grow the way he needs to be growing. He doesn't have the room to grow his life and grow your lives together. That's why it's important to do it together. So I like how he put it out there. And then once again, I don't think that this has to be your life and you have to pattern behind somebody else, because I don't really agree with people patterning behind other folks. I just think you need to figure out what's best for you and the person that you're with, what works for the two of you. And if you've incorporated a family with that, you need to figure out what is going to work, what is going to be the best fit for your family. You know, these are things that you discuss and talk about, not coming to the table just straight out, flat out saying, oh, I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. And that shows that you are not a person who's compatible for relationships. And so it doesn't matter who you deal with, what relationship you get in, it's not going to work because you're thinking from a selfish perspective. And usually when you come and try to get into a relationship thinking selfishly, it ends up not really lasting, because when you're in a relationship and then you add kids to that as well, you definitely got to focus on your family. You cannot be focused on you know, the majority of the time, because that's going to cause conflict in the relationship. And so I just think the 50-50 thing that we hear women say is just ridiculous. You got to understand, if you're out here taking care of yourself and you're paying 100% of your bills, I don't see why you wouldn't want to go half with somebody, because that should benefit the both of you. And honestly, when you're in a relationship, and especially a marriage, I think there's way more that you put in depending on what it is. It's never a real 50-50 in a marriage. It's more, it changes, because when you're in a marriage, you're thinking of the entire picture. And even when you're in a relationship before you get married, you should be thinking of the entire picture. So sometimes you might put more in certain areas in. It may not be just financial where you're putting time and effort and all of that in. You got to look at the entire picture. And I think this is where a lot of women get it messed up. And they just think, oh, well, this is what you're supposed to be doing. But you got to understand, you're doing this for the long haul. This is not, oh, 1 year or 5-6 months to a year, we done if it don't work out. No, you're going into this commitment with this other person for the rest of your life. So you have to plan for that, and you have to be strategic in how you're going to plan to spend your life with the rest of your life with this person, and build and raise a family on that as well. So you got to think more smarter. You got to be a little bit more wiser. You got to understand that relationships are not just about a man doing everything you want and catering to your needs, but y'all have to work together to build something that's going to benefit the entire whole of the family. I just think it's important to have that mindset in order for you to know what it takes. And I think a lot of times we don't really know what it takes to make a successful relationship because we haven't seen them. And so if you were trying to have that, you got to think outside of what you saw and what your mothers and grandmothers have told you, and you got to create something new. And with that in mind, you have to be open to the possibilities and what you need to do that's different from what you were taught and what you saw. So listen, y'all, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell. Y'all know what it is. Let me know what you think in the comments. I definitely want to hear your thoughts, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.